Hello guys, it's Annika. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about how I learned Korean as a beginner. I want to share the materials that I use to learn Korean. I wanted to make this video to kind of encourage people who are scared to learn a language or don't think they can do it. Just go for it. You can do it. I am a total beginner at Korean and I wanted to just make this video to share my journey in learning Korean. Okay, so the first thing I use to learn Korean is the Talk to Me in Korean books. I have the lesson book and then I also have the workbook. First thing I would probably recommend is learning Hangul, which is like the Korean characters. This one's called Hangul Master. For Hangul, I just kind of took a few characters per day and would write them multiple times. After you learn Hangul, then I would recommend moving on to the Talk to Me in Korean lesson and workbook. I really like these books because they explain everything really clearly, they give really good examples, and they give also really good exercises to like practice. The workbook is really helpful because it's like extra practice to help you kind of retain the information. They do have like a few exercises in like the lesson book, but you want to keep practicing, the vocabulary, grammar, forming sentences. I also like the workbook because they kind of have different ways to learn the language. They have where you can like match up the words, or they test like listening comprehension, and they also have like multiple choice questions. Overall, I say great books. I also have like my own notebook, Korean language notebook, where I take notes from the lessons. I feel like when I write things down, I kind of retain it better. So I decorated the notebook with like a whole bunch of BTS sticker. In this book, I kind of just like to rewrite the key points in the lessons, and also not only like the definition of the word, but also like examples that will kind of help me remember it, and also kind of write my own notes like, oh, this is pronounced this way, just to kind of help me understand like how to use that word in a sentence. Another thing I do to just kind of help me learn Korean, it's kind of just like a fun one that I personally like to do, and it's like my K-pop lyric book. I just kind of more BTS stuff. Go ARMY! So in here I just kind of take like song lyrics. I just started this book, so there's only BTS songs so far. I did the lyrics like No More Dreams, so I kind of just like wrote the lyrics in Korean and then translated it in English. And then I kind of got tired of writing the Korean lyrics, so I printed the Korean lyrics and translated it. Either way, I feel like you still learn some new words, or you kind of just become familiar of the certain words that are used in K-pop songs. Anyways, it's just a fun way to kind of switch it up from learning out of the book, writing stuff down. You kind of just have like a switch up, like you can learn the lyrics to your favorite song. Now for apps, I would say is Duolingo. I think it's great for practicing like Hangul at first. Like you first learn the alphabet and then you go into like basics and greetings and things like that. It's very repetitive, so I think you'll definitely pick up the language very easy that way. I kind of find it fun. They give you like something called XP, like points, and then you kind of just like compete with other people to try to be number one. I'm kind of competitive, so I like competing, doing a whole bunch of lessons to beat the other person. Cons to the app though is there's so many ads. Like after each lesson you complete, there's an ad, and sometimes you like can't even like click out of the ad. You have to like exit the app and then go back in, and then it'll give you the option to exit out. Another app I like to use is Memrise. It makes a a list of all the words you have learned. You can practice listening comprehension and you can practice pronunciation. It has multiple native speakers like pronouncing the words, so you can kind of hear it how it's supposed to sound. You can hear the native speakers, you know, versus like a text tone. Like Duolingo kind of has more of like a text kind of speaking, like Siri or something, but for Memrise it's more just like native speakers pronouncing the words, like boys pronouncing the word, girls pronouncing the word, young people pronouncing the word, old people, so you have like different natives pronouncing the same word. Another app I like to use is Egg Bun. I find that app so cute. The whole setup is really easy and organized. They have this cute little character called Lanny. So cute. Also, the categories that they have like drawings on top of them, and they are just so cute. Like, the app's just so aesthetically pleasing. I don't know why, I just like it. Also, a plus to this app I would say is they have a category called Culture Notes, and they have just like different lessons on the things in Korean culture. They have things like popular phrases in Korean drama, they have Korean idioms, Korean holidays, and Korean slang, and like so many other categories or topics and lessons that you can learn all around Korean culture. I see no fault in this app at all. Other apps I like to use is Papago for like translating English to Korean and Korean to English. I kind of find that a little more accurate than Google Translate, although I do still have Google Translate and use it.
Another thing I wanted to mention was that Papago also has the formal and informal version when translating
배고파.
from Korean to English, which Google Translate does not have.
배가 고파요.
Another way that I learn Korean is through like K-dramas or Korean TV shows. If you go on your laptop to Viki, Hangul, and also English subtitles at the same time, so you can kind of just see as the actors kind of just saying their lines, you can just see not only the English translation but how it's spelled in Korean, how it's said in Korean, and if you don't understand a word you can click on it and it'll give you the definition right then and there. Another way you can watch K-dramas is Netflix, but I definitely recommend Viki just because you can kind of see both. And as a beginner, like, you don't know how to read that much Hangul. Like, you may know how to pronounce the words, but you don't know what the sentence may mean as a whole. So I definitely recommend kind of having the English and the Hangul versus just the Korean subtitles, because you don't know what it means. Some people are just that advanced where they can just turn on the Korean subtitles and listen to in Korean and understand that. But this is about how to learn as a beginner. Since I don't live in Korea and I don't have any opportunity to really speak Korean here in the US, I try to immerse as much as possible. I would recommend kind of engaging with the language at least once a day or once every other day, whether it's playing a game that practices vocab or watching a Korean TV show. At least you're engaging with it and becoming more and more familiar with the sounds, tones, expressions, nuances, grammar, common vocab, etc. I definitely try to change up learning Korean like day to day or every other day. So some days I just do like Duolingo or the apps that I use, or some days I just do the lesson book and the workbook. Sometimes I just watch my Korean dramas. All of them I think are perfectly fine as long as you're engaging with the language. I also think that when you kind of are practicing the language for a bit, it may be fun at first, but then it starts to feel like work. So I think kind of switching it up will make it more fun. It'll keep you engaged, keep you interested and passionate about learning that language. So I definitely just encourage like creative forms of learning the language you're learning. Alright guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to show you guys how I learned Korean as a beginner. I kind of just hope to make these videos to help anyone who's trying to learn a language and, you know, is a beginner like me. I definitely want to see growth in my Korean and just hopefully see how this journey goes, and I hope you guys will come along with me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 안녕하세요. 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 안녕하세요, 여러분. 애니카입니다. 애니카입니다.